57 policies, it's a very cute gimmick, but in the stickly bureaucracy of the SU, how many are actually achievable?
Quite a few of them are actually achievable, because a lot of the groundwork that this year's SABs have laid is 57 policies. I think if most of them were able to be achieved, I would have done more than any other SAB in the history of LSE, perhaps. It is ambitious, but we're an ambitious bunch of people, and we should get our act together and try and make all these things happen, basically. So I think I can get a lot of them done. I think the groundwork's been laid, and I think we can push on and really make this union a much better place.
I'm sorry, 57 policies. You're just a joker, aren't you? You're not serious about this.
Of course I'm serious about it.
It has to create the annual budget,
yeah,
and so on. You won't be in the limelight. How can you be sure that you will be fine being, the grey evidence of the union? Is that a role you're suited to?
Well, the Treasurer is definitely a role I'm suited to. I think the budget's an important part, but it's a very important part of it. And also all these policies, none of them, or a lot of them, aren't going to happen unless there's the cash behind it and the direction to actually make them happen. I mean, it's not just about signing invoices and stuff. It's not like you're just in the background. You've got to really make these tough decisions, but at the same time, you've got to think about the strategic direction of where you're going. And yeah, of course I'm absolutely suited to it. I wouldn't be running otherwise.
A lot of your experience in the union so far has been within the realm of marketing, for Beaver, for Pulse, etc. What experience do you have within the union with budgets, with money?
Well, I've informally helped out with the Pulse Radio budget a couple of years ago. Helped out informally again with the Lara budget. But if you're talking about experience in terms of actual the skills to create a budget, I think that most students at LSE are competent enough to create a budget. I think that the difficult bit is not in the accounting of it, but in actually deciding what to put where. If you see, it's not the mathematical skills so much, but it's actually deciding what's important and what to prioritise. But I have also had experience. I worked in the summer doing media buying and planning. There was a lot of budgeting there, spreadsheets, making sure all the figures lined up, which is very important to check your performance, etc. I've also been trusted working for a modest but small cafe where I would have to cash up in a day and have the responsibility to make sure the money gets to the bank safely, sometimes with thousands of pounds carrying me. So I've definitely got relevant experience, but like I say, it's not about the accounting skills, it's about prioritising what's important.
How much money was spent on the Beaver this year from the union?
I think it was around £22,000, but there was also an application to pay for complete printing costs, and I don't know whether that went through or not, because I don't know. But I know we got around £24–25 of sponsorship in. Advertising, that continues to grow throughout the year, obviously.
How much should be spent on the Beaver next year?
Constitutionally, I'm told that all printing costs should be covered by the union, which accounts for about £35,000, is it? If that's what the Constitution says, unless it's reformed, then I guess that's something we've got to do, or at least it's something that the next editor's got to be prepared to negotiate with.
The media group is obviously an important part of your role and where your experience has been before. What are you going to do to give Luce the opportunity to grow when throwing money at it is fine, but they're stuck in a desk in the corner of an office? What are you going to do to help Luce grow to a bigger television station?
Give them a room. Give them and Clare Market Review a shared room from one of the spare offices. Give Pulse the extra space in here. And it's not just Luce that needs to grow, Pulse needs to grow, the Beaver needs more space. We've got to wait 3 years to get a new building, but let's make use of the space we've got now. We've now got some space, let's put Luce in another room. Let's get the Clare Market Review, they've done a great job so far. They need to be given extra support and help because they should grow and that should get better and better and better. Luce could even, there's talk of and people are thinking about, let's think about how we can change Luce kind of fundamentally. Is it working as it is? Giving it a new room will go a long way to helping it do that. I think there's so much that it could do. It's a really, really great thing and loads of people would like to get involved. It needs to be publicised more and it needs to have its own space. You can't sit in the corner of a studio with 2 metres squared and produce television programmes. It's not really feasible.
Societies. What are you going to do next year if you get the job? If a society spends all its money unwisely and just collapses and they come to you cap in hand, are you going to punish them by not bailing them out, or are you going to commit union funds to maintaining a SU society?
Well, there's so many ifs and buts with that question, right? Okay, for example, if a society has a 1,000...
Well, it happened with a business society this year. It could happen again.
It could happen again, yeah. look, the individuals involved would have to be to some extent accountable and responsible, especially if they're society members and they've spent that money. Like I say, it would matter on the case. Look, if someone's gone out there purposefully knowing they've spent union money on the wrong thing, then I think they should be punished to an extent. But I don't think the other members of the society who were completely not in the know about it should be punished. So it's about getting that balance between not punishing the whole society perhaps, but maybe the people involved or the people that are near the top of the society. Again, it's a difficult thing, and I wouldn't like to say blanket what I would do in that situation.
Okay. Alright, so thanks for you then.